All right, y'all, come on in. Today we're going to be looking at this Boudoir Facebook ad. See what we're doing good to give us good results, see what we're doing bad to give us bad results, and kind of see where we can go from here. And we're going through my normal, 10-step, 10 mistake kind of process here. Top 10 most common boudoir photographer mistakes that they're making in their boudoir Facebook ads. And I've actually already taken these 10 mistakes, fixed, tested and fixed on my own some other boudoir Facebook ads that I've seen out there. And on average, I've been able to get right here, 2 to 4x more women coming through the ad, consuming the ad copy, becoming pre-qualified, getting exposed to our offer, and 2 to 4x literally for the same ad spend. And the women are actually more specific, so they're more qualified. And all comes literally just from fixing some of these most common mistakes. And the hidden metric that we care about most here is unique CTR all. That's basically how many women out of 100 have engaged with our ads. And when we get more specific, this number actually goes up, which is kind of strange. But yeah, it actually goes up. We actually always want to keep this above 6%. So you can see I'm always able to get it, 6 to 9%, 6 to 10%, where, 6 out of 100 to 10 out of 100 women that see our ad are actually engaging with it, reading the ad copy, reading the body copy, getting pre-qualified. Whereas kind of the average boudoir Facebook ads, probably between 2 to 3% here. So that's in kind of the 2 to 4x range. And the unique CTR all is actually the most important metric, or leading metric actually, because below 6%, our ads probably doing worse and worse over time. Same ad spend, lower results, lower sales over time, kind of gets worse and worse over time. But if we get above 6%, we get a higher chance for our ads to actually be same ad spend, more and more sales over time, more and more conversions over time on the same ad spend. So, aka our ads sustain and scale, scaling the business. So these same 10 mistakes I already, got good results with here. That's what we're going to be going over in this video. And for those who've been running boudoir Facebook ads for, a long time, one of the most common things they're going through is, if they're running boudoir Facebook ads on their own, okay, the ad starts out good, but it kind of dies off, trails off, lower and lower sales over time, worse and worse results over time. And then they're kind of feeling desperate, like, what the heck, this thing was working. Uh-oh, now how do I fix it? And kind of really the only thing basically everyone can think of is kind of just restarting it with a new picture, refresh the creative, which works again for a little bit, but because there's still structural mistakes, kind of these top 10 mistakes are still present in the ad, it caused the ad to die out fast and fast still, no matter how much things are refreshed. And then the other path is, if the boudoir photographer is paying an ad agency to actually do all this stuff, paying them a ton of money every month. And then same ad spend every month and getting worse and worse results. They are actually feel like super frustrated at the ad agency. Like, man, why am I paying them a ton of money to get worse and worse results month over month? They're really kind of just like rehashing and refreshing what they've been doing. And they probably already gave me, their best ads in the beginning to get me hooked. So why do I still need them? And they're like, oh, well, if we're just going to refresh stuff, I might as well just do it on my own because I can do that. So there's kind of the two most common scenarios I see happening, especially with boudoir Facebook ads, because I do see a lot of the top 10 most common mistakes. So we're going to look at this ad, see where it lands, see where we can learn from it. And some mechanics that, most boudoir Facebook advertisers are unaware of is kind of what is actually causing the ads to do worse and worse over time and burn out, and then having to keep refreshing stuff, and like how to solve it. And so here's the actual root cause issue that no one else is seeing. And it is this: when we put our ad out, our ad goes kind of tranche one, first group of women, and we get the meta ad algorithm gets data from that. So we get, unique CTR all, kind of the first metric, some other metrics, also conversion data from the tranche 1 women. And that data is actually pumped back into the meta ad algorithm itself to decide who the ad should go to next, kind of which group 2, tranche 2 women should get our ads next. Now, if we're making a bunch of these mistakes that I'm going to talk about today, those initial metrics, the initial conversion data, conversion rates, they're all going to be low, which when it feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, our ads are actually going to go to a lower quality, aka lower converting meta profiles for tranche 2, which means tranche 2, we're going to be spending the same ad spend every day, but because they have a lower conversion rate, they're lower quality profiles, we actually get lower sales day after day, which means, which is same ad spend, lower results, which feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again. And for tranche 3, we go to even worse converting meta profiles compared to tranche 2, compared to tranche 1. And because we go to worse, again, same ad spend, even worse results, we're in this downward spiral of despair, and we entered it based off of all the data and metrics from tranche 1, our data and our results from the tranche 1 women. So we're in the downward spiral of despair, ads doing worse and worse over time, results lower and lower, and our ads dying out, our ads burning out, and we just gotta, the only thing we can think to do is to refresh the creative. But the same structural issues remain, and it'll just kind of be a cycle of refresh, die out, dead. Refresh, die out, dead. Now, if we fix these top 10 mistakes I'm going to talk about today, we got a higher chance of going the other way. So here's how the other way works. All right, it goes out to the tranche 1 women. We get good initial ad metrics, which comes from having a great ad, works with the meta ad algorithm, works with human psychology to get great metrics, good conversion rates, good conversion data from the tranche 1 women. And from that data is actually fed back into the meta ad algorithm, and our ads, we actually unlock a higher tier meta profile for tranche 2, where it kind of just has a larger, higher global, / master conversion rate on the meta profile. It's basically a premium placement that we unlock, aka are awarded by having a great user experience with our ad and, a great ad in itself. And so for tranche 2, we do same ad spend, and guess what? We get better results because these meta profiles, these better, higher converting meta profiles convert at a higher rate. So same ad spend, better results, feeds back into the meta ad algorithm to decide for tranche 3. And we unlock, even premium placements now, premium meta profiles with higher conversion rates, which results same ad spend, even better results over time. So this one we call the upward spiral of awesomeness, where the data from tranche 1 puts us kind of into like a jet stream. And then the opposite, what I first explained, the downward spiral of despair, again from tranche 1 data and metrics. All right, just performs worse over time, burns out, dies out, got to refresh the creative. Whereas when we get in the upward spiral of awesomeness, we barely have to refresh creative. So that is what fixing these mistakes gives us, and why it works, and how it works with the meta ad algorithm to give us what we want, which is more sales, same ad spend, more sales. I mean, that's really what we're after. More bookings, more women helped, for women that need what we got, but we also have to tell them it's specifically for them. So, all right, now into the top 10 most common Boudoir Facebook ad mistakes. And yeah, we're gonna look at this ad, see what the heck we can learn. So first potential mistake is, does it look like an ad? So I'm looking at the creative, just really looking at the image or video here, and really just seeing if there's text on it. Yeah, I can see text on it right now. See, yep, this looks like an ad, which means we're gonna have more women scrolling on by, less women consuming it. And when less women consume it, we're getting less women getting pre-qualified. Less women know what we offer. Less women know knowing if it's for them. So again, fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. We're going to have more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections. We're going to have fewer sales, fewer conversions, fewer bookings, lower revenue, lower ROAS from tranche one women. And all that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And our ads go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche two, which results in same ad spend, lower results. And, we're in the downward spiral of despair here already. And ad will just kind of do worse and worse over time, burn out, die out, and we got to refresh creative. All right, so, and now mistakes 2 through 5. So the next 4 mistakes can appear in the See More headline. Now this ad's unique where we ain't got much of the parts that I normally talk about, but we'll still talk about them what we want here. So first, what we got here, luxury boudoir photo shoots. This is a specific attribute titled solution. So this is a solution attribute. Which, yeah, it's fine to start out testing with. It gives us kind of an A test. And then what we always love to do is, more tests after a B test to kind of add in some things, shake up some things, and then see which one performs better. And then we try to figure out why. So with all these ads, we got a See More headline, which is the first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile newsfeed. Right here, we're only using half a line one. So we're only using like 25% of the space we got. We want to use the full 2 3/4 lines because at the end of line 3, the final quarter, it'll be cut off and it'll say ... see more in its place. And then, the viewer, the newsfeed scroller clicks ... see more to open up the rest of the ad copy. But the reason we care about these 2 3/4 lines is 100 out of 100 women will see these 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile newsfeed, as that is where most ad impressions will be happening. And we know that because we can go into our Meta Ads Manager backend. We go in the top right, we click on the breakdown drop-down menu, and we click on placements. And then we click on the column that says impressions on our column, like the word impressions, and we sort it from highest to lowest. And then we go in the bottom left row, it's literally the bottom row, the summary row, and we click the little arrow that's in the bottom left. And it brings up the summary row, and we'll see summary of all our placements and how many impressions for each one. And number 1 is going to be Facebook mobile newsfeed. That's where most impressions will be. So that's where we got to test our messaging. And actually gives us the most real estate to test our messaging as well, because we never want to scale past more than one placement unless our messaging has been dialed in and actually works, gives sales. So the 4 mistakes that can happen in the See More headline up here, we need the 4 specific attributes. The first one is who. Who are we speaking to? What is a self-label that women in our city have, where if we set it, it would, if they're scrolling fast, they kind of read it fast, they're going by, it causes them to scroll, come back up, and they say, oh my God, they're talking about me. So we're missing a who here, which means you're gonna have more women scrolling by, not engaging, not consuming, our ad copy, our offer. And because of that, we're gonna have fewer women becoming pre-qualified for the same ad spend, fewer qualified women, fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, which means more price hunters, more tire kickers, more ghosting, resulting in lower sales, lower conversions, lower revenue, lower ROAS, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And we go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2. So yeah, just kind of off rip. We're already in the downward spiral of despair. It kind of just feeds on itself over and over again. Same ad spend, worse and worse and worse and worse results. Ad dying out, ad burning out, refresh creative. The next thing we want to have in our See More headline is a negative. What negative experience are women in our city going through that they are saying in their brains that they want to get away from? And yeah, we test all this stuff. We don't have to be mind readers. We do have to have good guesses though, because the data will tell us kind of which one is most relevant. And we always lead with a negative experience here in the See More headline. and here's why. The reason is because humans are biologically programmed to take an action to move from, a state, a negative experience or a pain, take an action to move from a negative experience / pain and get to a normal / no pain / neutral state, homeostasis state. Literally 100x higher probability the human takes that action to go from negative to neutral compared to taking action to go from neutral / no pain / homeostasis to some positive / gain / pleasure state. Literally 100x difference minimum. Literally 100x difference. And we know this because, if we go to the dentist, let's say we're going to the dentist, we get our 6-month cleaning done and our checkup, and we're paying at the front desk, and the secretary lady's like, hey, are you free 33 Thursdays from now at 7:50 a.m.? And we're like, dude, I literally got no idea, but hit me up later, closer, hit me up closer to then, and then I'll actually know my schedule to know when I can fit it in. So they put us in their, auto texter machine, and it auto texts us month 3, we ignore it. Month 4, we ignore it. Month 5, we ignore it. And month 6 comes and goes, and we did not go to the dentist. We didn't set up an appointment. We did nothing. And that's because, we're busy. We're working on our business, growing the business. We got stuff to fix with our business. Our schedule's full. Our schedule's packed. We got shoots. We got all that. And we're kind of in the flow state. We like our mental momentum, that everything's going good with the business, hanging out with everyone. And, what we would get, the gains we would get from going to the dentist of slightly cleaner teeth and, knowing that we got no cavities, kind of that peace of mind. So those two gains, those two positives, those two pleasures from going to the dentist, they're not enough for us to take an action. It's not enough for us to take an action, think about it, change our whole thinking, change our whole schedule, push everything back. Those gains are just, even though they're guaranteed, literally guaranteed from going, those positives, we just don't really get anything. It's just not, again, it's not enough for us to take an action. So we don't go, we don't put it on the calendar, we don't show up. All right, next comes month 8, month 10, month 12. We get one auto text each month, and we are, we're actually ignoring them a second time. So month 12 comes and goes. Again, we did not set a dentist appointment. Again, we did not show up. And again, it's the same thing. We're busy, we're focused, our schedule's full, and those guaranteed gains of slightly cleaner teeth and knowing we have that peace of mind, knowing we have no cavities in our mouth. Again, it's not enough for us to take an action. Now month 13 comes, we're towards the end of month 13. And one morning, we're eating breakfast. And dude, every single bite we got pain with every single bite. And we're like, oh man, this is terrible. This is annoying, but we finish our breakfast, go about the rest of the day, rest of the morning. And we still got, even though we're not chewing anything, we still got pain on our mouth, the right side, the back on the bottom. Pain in our mouth. We got pain in the jaw as well. So we're feeling that all morning, even after we eat. And lunch comes. We decided to be smarter this time. We decided to eat all the food on the left side of our mouth because the right side's killing us. But still, the right side hurts. It hurts on the tooth, hurts on our jaw. And so we finish eating lunch, literally having eaten only half of it. Our tooth's killing us too much. And we're like, dude, probably not gonna be able to focus at all this afternoon. Probably not gonna be able to eat dinner, probably not gonna be able to sleep. My tooth's killing me. I gotta get this solved now. So we call up our dentist the same afternoon, and we're talking to them, and we're like, what do you mean you can't get me in 7:15 a.m. tomorrow? Dude, my tooth's killing me. I gotta get in. And like, hey, we're booked out the next week and a half. We can put you on the cancellation list. but no guarantees, or we can schedule you for a week and a half out. I'm like, nah, dude, tooth has too much pain. I'm in too much pain right now. I gotta call some other peeps. So we hang up on them, and then, dude, we call literally every other single dentist in the city. And we're like, can you get me in tomorrow morning? Can you get me in tomorrow morning? Can we get you in tomorrow morning? Can you get me in tomorrow morning? Finally, dude, someone says, yes, we can get you in tomorrow morning, 7:15 a.m. Come on in. So we barely sleep that night, too much tooth pain. We roll in 7:15 a.m. They do the x-rays. They say, oh man, dude, we got a super cavity on the teeth, right side of our mouth, on the back and the bottom, on those molars. So they go and they clean it out. They fill it with the resin stuff, the liquid resin stuff. They put the UV pen on it. So yeah, the UV pen. And then we do the bite paper to make sure our tooth's the right height. And they also, kind of do their normal six month cleaning stuff. And we get out, we leave. Hey, no more tooth pain, no more jaw pain. We're biting the air, testing it out, biting the air a little bit. And then we go to breakfast. Boom, no pain. No pain during breakfast, no jaw pain, no pain after in our tooth or jaw. Like, yes, oh my God, thank God. Finally back to normal. Pain is gone. No pain. So with this dentist situation, it's actually two situations here. The first one literally 13 months, which is literally 400 days. For 400 days, we're in a no pain state, and we did not take an action to get to a positive, a gain or a benefit state of cleaner teeth and peace of mind knowing we have no cavities. So we would have guaranteed gotten those if we had just gone to the dentist, but we never put the dentist on the calendar. We never went for the first 400 days. For the 401st day, literally one day we're in pain, and dude, we're taking massive action to put the dentist on the calendar. Our dentist, any dentist, every dentist in the city, calling them up, getting them on the calendar, getting this thing solved, getting us out of this negative experience, aka away from this pain, back to normal / no pain state. So in this example, literally the difference in probability that we take the action is 400x to go from negative experience back to normal, no pain state, compared to going from normal, no pain state to some positive gain state. Literally 400x difference. That's how much more powerful the negative experience, getting away from the negative experience, is to humans actually taking an action. And this is why we always lead with it on our ad, because we want the humans to take action at obviously a higher rate, and we got to lead with the negative experience, the pain they're currently experiencing. So looking at here, we don't have it, but I'm going to look in this video. So we got dare to embrace your bones. So that's kind of thinking in these attributes now. That's positive. Plenty of boudoir and that's solution. Let's see in this video. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but it's like Rihanna, Run This Town Tonight. But let's see. I'm looking at the words he's actually putting on here. So, okay, that's a positive. Kind of breaking down what he's got written. Feel like a supermodel, that's a positive. Seeing if he has any negatives here, negative experiences. Embrace your boldness into yourself, playing over doing. Okay, that's positive, that's solution. All right, so we're missing a negative here. We need to, the best way I've seen to do the ads is basically figure out the specific attributes first, and then put them in the video, because then we know they've tested well, kind of in the first scenario. So all right, so we're missing negative. We don't have it in the See More headline. It's where we need it. So that's where women will actually be. Because again, that's where most of our impressions, our Facebook mobile newsfeed. All right, so we're missing negatives. We're gonna have more women scrolling by. Less women feel like we're speaking directly to them. So we're gonna have fewer women consuming our full ad copy. So fewer women are getting pre-qualified. So we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. lower, well, basically more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, and we have fewer sales, lower revenue, lower ROAS, fewer conversions from tranche one women. That all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And our ads go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche two. We've entered the downward spiral of despair, so we know what's going to happen next. It's going to be same ad spend, lower results because the tranche two meta profiles are worse converting meta profiles, kind of just overall, which feeds back into the meta ad algorithm for tranche 3, 4, 5, 6, down and down and down, down it goes till it burns out. It dies out and then we got to refresh it. But again, the same structural issues remain. So I missed the negatives. I'd say, what about positive? So positives here. We wanted to see more headline, but you did have some. Like 2, I think, in here. Celebrate your sexy. That's a positive, because what we're thinking of for this is, are women in our city saying they want this thing, celebrate their sexy as a positive? Yes, I would definitely say yes. And feel like a supermodel? Yeah, I would definitely say women in our city are saying that. So yeah, I'll give the positive here, even though we should have it in the see more headline. So we actually have a method and a way to test it to decide whether it's good versus some other positive. So yeah, we'll get the positive here. Now, because we're missing the negative, we're missing the negative positive tension, aka the mental contrast that really captures attention, really gets women to want to keep reading. But at least we got one of them. We got the positive, so we got more women consuming our ad copy. And positive is kind of like, well, negative is basically like, they're on one river bank, one side of the river with this negative thing happening they want to get away from. And positive is like this other second thing, which is different than the negative experience, like a totally different thing that's not related to it at all. So the women are saying to the brand, yeah, I don't want this thing, and I also do want this other different thing. It's kind of crossing the river to get away from the bad thing and get this second, orthogonal positive thing. And so, all right, so we got the positive, good. So we got a kind of things, something women want on the other side of the river, the other river bank. More women consuming our ad copy, more women becoming pre-qualified, more women watching this full video. So we got more qualified leads, more qualified appointments, higher, let's see, we're basically having lower ghosting, we're having more best fit clients, fewer price hunters, fewer price objections, and we're getting, more sales, more conversions, more bookings, higher revenue, higher ROAS. All that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm from tranche one, our good initial ad metrics, conversion data, and our ad goes to, we basically unlock higher quality meta profiles for tranche two, which have a higher overall kind of default conversion rate. And those placements to those profiles are reserved for only very good ads. And as a result, we get same ad spend, better results from these premium placement profiles, which never would have seen our ads if we didn't have good results at first. And same ad spend, better results feeds back into the meta algorithm from tranche two. We go to even better profiles for tranche three. We've entered the upward spiral of awesomeness, our ads sustaining and scaling. We really don't have to refresh the creative at all, or at least for a long time. And we scale the business. Now, the fourth and final thing we want to see more headline up here is a hesitation/roadblock. So yeah, we're missing that too. And we do not have one of these in the video because I watched it through right now. This hesitation/roadblock is kind of like, what is stopping women, from taking one of, our bridge, if there's many bridges across the river, or a boat, or any of the boats across the river, a helicopter across the river? What's stopping women that they're saying in their brain, that they're assuming they got to do something, but they're wrong about that, or they hear something that they got to do or have or be that they don't qualify for? And yeah, we test all this stuff. So what is one of those? what is one of those, hesitations or roadblocks? Actually, the video I did yesterday was, I think, maybe the first Facebook ad in a long time that had a hesitation / roadblock. So I really like seeing that. So we're missing that here. So basically, we're missing the triangle of mental tension, which is negative, positive, hesitation / roadblock. That gets us probably the most specific possible, honestly, in the see more headline with the 2 3/4 line character limit. And it does enable us to be the most specific to that woman, and out of every advertised Boudoir Facebook advertiser in our city, and probably honestly every other advertiser for any other business or service in our city as well, unless someone's already working, some other Boudoir photographer is already working with me already. And all right, so we're missing the triangle mental tension. Women are feeling less like our service is speaking directly to them. And yeah, what we got right here is just solution. Like, hey, do you want solution? We got solution. This works if there are no other competitors. So if we're like the only one in the market, in the 1950s, feels like you want TV, we got TVs here at the TV store, and we're the only TV store in the city. That's fine. But when there's more than one player in the market, that's when we have to get specific with all these specific attributes, because it's strange. Humans actually need to be told the solution is specifically for them. Yeah, I know it's strange. I thought it was strange too. I did the same thing. Kind of like, want solution, here's solution. But literally, people need to be told something exactly for them, for their situation, what they want, what they don't want to deal with, what they're currently going through in their life. Yeah, so it's like kind of master marketing, God marketing. But yeah, basically testing anything's fine. So it gives us kind of some data to benchmark off of. All right, so we're missing triangle mental tension, fewer women feeling like we're speaking to them, fewer women reading our full ad copy, consuming our full video. So we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more ghosting, more price hunters, more price kickers, lower qualified, basically lower qualified bookings, fewer sales, lower conversion rate, lower revenue, lower ROAS from our tranche one women. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. And then our ads for tranche two go to lower quality meta profiles, which is an even lower conversion rate. Ad dies, basically it's just as worse and worse over time. Same ad spend, worse and worse and worse results over time. Downward spiral of despair. Ad does that, ad burns out. Refresh creative. So we know the drill by now. All right, the next three things we in the ad are in the ad body copy, which, if we clicked up here, if there was more text, it would open it up, but we don't have that. So we'll imagine there's a big wall of text for our ad body copy. And basically we are, the women are in fast brain, kind of like TikTok brain scrolling, not looking for anything in particular, just looking to be entertained. But we get them to go from fast brain to like slow brain by having a good see more headline with 4 specific attributes up here up top. And then they click the ... see our full wall of text, our full ad copy, and get smacked in the face with it, and we get them to be like super slow brain. All this happens within like half a second, honestly. But because of that, we actually have to give them a reason to keep reading once they click the ... see more, because their brain's overwhelmed with how much more text they're going to read. Instead of one sentence, they got to now read 7 more sentences. But since we all got TikTok brain, we got to give them a reason to keep reading. So we got to basically have a hook 2, where the see more headline up top is the hook 1, then at the top of the body copy is a hook 2, and we always like to use an authority hook. Basically a why you should listen to me hook, which is actually what I did at the beginning of this video, showing I've been able to fix with other Boudoir Facebook ads, been able to get 2 to 4x the number of women coming through, consuming the ad copy, become pre-qualified with the same ad spend. So there's a hook 2, an authority hook, a why you should listen to me hook. So we're missing that here. So we're gonna have less women reading our full ad copy, or finishing our video, going through our full video. So less women getting pre-qualified, so we're gonna have fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more price hunters, more price objections, more basically more ghosting from them on their side, lower sales, lower revenue, fewer conversions, lower ROAS from tranche 1 women, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, leading to our ads going to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2, which in general have a lower conversion rate compared to tranche 1. And that results in same ad spend, lower results. Ads, we're in the downward spiral of despair. We know the steps right now. Ad burns out, ad dies out. We've got to refresh creative as we're doing same ad spend, lower results over time. No getting out of the downward spiral of despair once we entered into it. We'd have to do a whole new different ad. All right, the second out of 3 things we want in the body copy is a story/narrative. This is basically like writing the movie script as if we had a third person camera following them, kind of recording their day. And then you kind of like the reality TV mashup where they're face on the camera and they're explaining like what they were thinking, what they're feeling based on the most recent clip. We got to have all 3 of those things in there. What's going on, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. For the story/narrative, this is our chance to empathize, show we understand what the heck's going on, say we see them, we understand them, and what we got is for them. And we know it's for them because we just explained their whole situation perfectly. And I was doing this movie scene thing also at the beginning of this video, talking about boudoir photographers running ads on their own, ads doing worse and worse over time, even though it started out good. Same ad spend, lower results, feeling desperate, not knowing where to fix things, just refreshing things, but the same structural issues remain in the ad, so they just got to kind of keep doing it over and over. Or they got an agency paying a ton of money every month, stressed about that because they're getting worse and worse results every month. Ad agency probably gave them the best ads up front to hook them in, but they're like, why should I keep paying them? I could probably just keep the old ads running because they ain't doing anything for them anyways. And the new ads literally just kind of keep refreshing it, and they're not doing any better for me, so why keep paying them? So yeah, that was a story/narrative, kind of right in the movie scene a little bit. We do like to provide some more details. And then we call this the punch 2. So punch 1 is the see more headline up here up top, the first 2 3/4 lines. Mobile, where we want the 4 specific attributes: the who, the negative, the positive, and the hesitation/roadblock. And this is basically meeting the women in our city and the conversation they're having in their brain, what they're actually saying to themselves, even if it's not consciously. If it's unconsciously, their unconscious will recognize it when they read the words about it. And then this is so we're like meeting them in their brain. So they definitely have to click ... see more here to see what we're actually talking about. And then number, basically the punch 2. So punch 1, we got that. Punch 2 comes from the story/narrative, knowing we understand them. When we get these right, which we got to, we call this the 1-2 punch. We got to get these right because, kind of 2 reasons. The first one is we need to get so specific because when this is a result of Facebook ad algorithm mechanics and newsfeed mechanics. So 5% of the reason we got to get the 1-2 punch correct is once a woman engages with literally one boudoir Facebook ad, clicking the ... see more, clicking the ad link, going to the landing page. What the meta ad algorithm does is it brings that woman for the next 24 hours, literally every other boudoir ad on the meta platform in that city. So from all our competitors ads, that woman seeing them for the next 24 hours. And we can try this ourselves. We go engage with a few boudoir Facebook ads in our city. Dude, and we'll be hit with all the boudoir Facebook ads possible in the city the next 24 hours on Facebook and Instagram from all our competitors. Now, the reason we've got to be specific is, 1, to stand out and actually be remembered, because all the other boudoir photographers are all going to have broad messaging, not remembering. Half of them will have broad messaging. The other half will be copying everyone else's templates. And so like half will have the same templates, half will have broad messaging. Nobody stands out. Our specific stands out. That's kind of 5% of the reason we need to get the 1-2 punch correct. But the 95% reason is we need to not only be specific, we need to be correctly specific. Actually what they're thinking, actually what they're saying to themselves, actually what's going on in their life, narrating the movie scene. Because when we're correctly specific, we turn into a market of 1. Literally, we're seen as their only option. There's much higher probability of them to pay higher prices and quicker, shorter sales cycle. They don't even consider any of the competitors because, man, they ain't saying anything that's relevant to them. And, kind of this low relevance, not being specific, is why a lot of people say, no money on Facebook, no money with Facebook users. But think about it. Think of our dentist example. If all the dentists in our city just did 6-month checkups, 6 months teeth cleanings, that's all they do. But we have one dentist that fixes, tooth pain when we're eating. Man, we would have paid them so much money to get in, and it would have been super fast for us to pay because they would have fixed they would have been the only one that fixed the exact thing we were going through. So we would have paid tons of money to them. Just get me out of this pain, if they were truly the only option. So that's why we need to be seen as the only option. Helps our ads sustain and scale. All right, so we're missing the story/narrative here, not in the ad copy, not in the video. We have fewer women feeling like our service is specifically for them. And as a result, fewer women consume our full ad copy, watch our full ad video. So fewer women get pre-qualified, so we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, which means more price hunters, more ghosting, more tire kickers. Have to try to drag them over the finish line. Even then, they don't want to pay anything. Lower sales, lower revenue, lower bookings, fewer conversions, lower ROAS from tranche 1 women, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. That again, we've entered the downward spiral of despair. For tranche 2, our ads go to lower converting meta profiles over time, which means same ad spend, lower results, which results in same ad spend, even lower results with tranche 3, and downward spiral of despair, activated. Worse and worse results over time. Ad dying out, ad burning out, refresh creative. Next, the third and final thing we want to have in our ad copy is our full offer. So we want our full offer because we actually want 2% of the correct people to click through to the ad and 98% to go buy. We'll go over that in the next mistake number 9. We're on mistake number 8 right now. But we need our full offer to tell people what the heck they're going to get, Yeah, we're missing it here. So we don't have it here in the ad copy or video, but we're looking for stuff like, is hair and makeup included? How long is the session? How much is the session fee? Can you review pictures same day? Clothing, outfits included? How many sets? Things like that. And since we don't have that, yeah, we're having less women becoming pre-qualified, knowing what the heck we're offering. So fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more ghosting, more price hunters, more tire kickers, lower sales, lower revenue, lower bookings, lower conversions, lower conversion rate, lower ROAS, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, all that data from tranche 1 women. Our ads go to worse lower converting, aka lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2, which results in same ad spend, lower results, feeding back into the meta algorithm over and over and over and over again. Downward spiral of despair activated. Ad burns out, ad dies out, refresh creative. All right, those are the first 8 mistakes that can happen in a Boudoir Facebook ad. Next, we're going to look at the final 2 mistakes that happen here at the bottom of the ad. And mistake number 9 here is having any text, any below creative headline, any description, any buttons below the ad creative. It's always a mistake to have anything below the ad creative. Here's why, and there's actually 3 reasons. The first reason, 5% of mistake number 9 ties in with mistake number 1. Stuff below the ad creative makes it look more like an ad. There's nobody's posting a picture of their dog on Facebook and having a below creative headline, description, or a button below it. Those are ad attributes, which again activates, ad blindness, banner blindness, people don't want to be sold to, more people scrolling on by. Even though they could be, what we got offering is exactly what they want. Second reason for mistake number 9, about 15% of the reason, is some newsfeed psychology here. When women scroll by luxury boudoir photo shoot, it kind of surfaces in their subconscious, kind of these first, the Seymour headline here. It surfaces in their subconscious once they're here and actually looking at the words here in the bottom left. And because of that, their brain surfacing luxury boudoir photo shoot. Then here they're saying celebrate your beauty. So basically, this is triggering the error detection network because the words are not exactly the same. It's triggering error. This happens automatically. Error, incongruent, confusing, keep scrolling. When actually what we want them to do is come back up and read. Well, we should have more ad copy here, but read what the heck we're off, what the heck we got, who it's for, what we got, what's the transformation. And yeah, we're missing all that. So that's 15% of mistake number 9. But also, dude, even if we had the correct words here, it's still a mistake because it ties into mistake number 1. So it's always a mistake to ever have, to basically ever have any text, any buttons here at the below the creative. Now, reason number 3 for mistake number 9 is, this is actually the most important one. It's 80% the reason for mistake number 9. When women are scrolling, stuff this text below the creative, the button, it enables women to click to go to our next page of our ad before being forced to read our ad copy and then click the link afterward after becoming pre-qualified. Here's why this is a massive, massive, massive mistake, allowing women to come through, click before they're pre-qualified. And again, it comes back to the meta ad algorithm. So when the meta ad algorithm decides who to send our ad to next, it's pulling from a few different pools of data. One of the pools, pool 1, is looking at converters. So those who have converted on the ad, it basically kind of shakes out all their meta data points, attributes on their meta profile, and it looks for the similarities between all of the other converters, all the other people that have converted. And when, so that's good. That biases the meta ad algorithm to go find more profiles that, 83% of these similar data points, 96%, 81%. So a higher chance of conversion. The problem though is with pool 2. Pool 2 does the same thing, but for ad clickers, anyone that's clicked on the ad. Here's the issue. Pool 2 is literally like 10 to 50x bigger than pool 1. And if we got this text down here below creative headline, description, and button, enabling women to click through off of seeing, maybe just this image. Maybe they just think it's it's a lingerie store or something. But they're clicking through it, so they're not qualified. It's not actually for them if they actually knew what it was. And so we're actually tainting our pool 2, where it's going to be mostly unqualified clickers that have no idea what we're doing, but their profile data points and attributes are still being recorded and still being used to bias or weight the meta ad algorithm to go towards more unqualified people, which is just killing us more and more over time. So this is actually 80% of the reason why it's always, always, always a mistake to have these things below the ad creative, the below creative headline, the description, and the button. It's the exact reason why. So that's mistake 9. Now moving on to mistake 10. I don't know if we're making mistake 10 here. Mistake 10 is the objective. But what I see boudoir photographers doing most often is using a leads objective. So, I don't know if we're using leads here, but leads is always, always, always a mistake. And here's why. When we choose a boudoir Facebook ad objective, we are basically telling Meta to choose a 6% slice of our city, 6% slice of the pie of the entire city we're targeting, with the Meta profiles who are, like 95% plus percentile probability to fill out a lead form, fill out their data, click submit, and react to some, react to keywords that we got in our ads that match keywords on their meta profile because either they've been searching them on Facebook, Instagram, and Google, and yes, they all communicate, or B, they've been engaging with other ads with these same keywords, or even C, they've been saying these keywords out loud, just conversation with their friends, even if they're not on the phone, on a phone call, just have their phone in their pocket. Because yes, Facebook and Instagram app is always listening, always kind of, sucking in and pasting the keywords we're saying at all times onto our meta profile to give us better, more relevant ads. And so our ads are going to form filler outers, lead form filler outers. Okay. The problem is our leads are not going to lead form filler outers who also answer our calls, texts, and emails. Our ads are going to lead form filler outers who do not book may or may not book a call, show up to a call. And we're not optimizing for our ads to go to lead form filler outers who also buy. We're just going to the lead form filler outers, people that like to fill out lead forms. That's it. Nothing about taking any step after. And because they're 95 plus percentile of, kind of their dominant profile and their meta profile is filling out lead forms, that means their dominant behavior is not buying. Because if that was, they wouldn't be getting our lead form ads. They'd be in a different 6% slice. And so when we're doing the lead form fill outers, there's going to be a small dusting that, yes, they will also answer our phones, texts, and emails. And yes, there'll be an even smaller dusting that, yes, they will book a call, fill out a lead form, and then book a call, show up to a call. And even tinier dusting still that, yes, they will fill out a lead form and also buy. But dude, we want buyers. So let's just put our ads in front of the 6% slice with the highest probability to buy in the first place. And yes, I know the $1, $1.50, $2, $3 leads are nice, cool, cheap leads, cheap leads, cheap leads. We're filling our email list, but those are non-buyers. I mean, think of the leads that are coming through the lead form. Are most of them buyers or most of them non-buyers? Most of them are non-buyers. So we're paying Meta to get more non-buyers on our list, which A, is a waste of money. B, screwing up our pixel. Our pixel is getting over-optimized towards non-buyers. So when we actually fix it to come back towards buyers and get back to baseline, it takes a longer process because our pixel is over-optimized towards leads forms and leads, aka non-buyers, the longer we keep using that pixel. And C, basically, it's screwing up all the rest of the steps of our funnel. Because we're sending out emails, sending out texts, we're calling them up. And, nobody's buying. So we're like, dang, is it the emails that are screwed up? Texts are screwed up, wrong cadence, wrong, what we're saying, lower, did I call them too late? Did I call them too early? Did I not call them enough? Why aren't they buying? Well, it's because they're non-buyers off rip. So no matter what we did, how perfect everything else we did after was, they're never going to buy because they are non-buyers. Because we chose a non-buyer objective. A buyer objective would have gone to totally different 6% slice meta profiles in our city. So this is why leads is always, always, always a mistake. And also just think of it from a cost per acquisition point, which is what actually matters. If we spend $100, get 100 leads, $1 per lead, we close one, okay, we get $100 CAC, customer acquisition cost, aka $100 CPA, cost per acquisition. But let's say we do a buyer objective and we get 4 leads, $10 each, so 10x more expensive. We sell one, CAC or customer acquisition cost of $40. So we literally just 2.5x the efficiency of our ad spend or the profitability of our ad spend, 2.5x our ROAS by using a better focused objective. Higher cost leads is what we want. That normally results in lower cost per acquisition because it's more specific. It's a higher quality lead. There's fewer of them. It costs more money to reach them. Premium placements, we're competing with other ads that also want to reach buyers. So yes, we want higher cost leads. We always, always, always want higher cost leads. All right, so those are 10 mistakes. Let's score this ad now compared to the rest of the boudoir industry. So does it look like an ad? Yeah, because the text that I saw at the beginning of the video. So it looks like an ad. So it's mistake one. Then we're missing a negative. Or I mean, we're missing a who. We're missing a negative. I'll give the positive because I saw it in two positive in the video. Missing a hesitation slash roadblock. Then we move to the body copy. Missing an authority to a hook to an authority hook. Missing a story slash narrative. Missing our full offer. Next mistake 9, or the next possible mistake is below creative headline and button. We got those. We're making that mistake. And then objective, half a mistake for that one. So we're 8.5 out of 10 of the top 10 most common Boudoir Facebook ad mistakes. And the average in the Boudoir industry is 8 out of 10. So we're right around average, probably, treading water with everyone else in our city, but not standing out. So if we want to stand out, we definitely got to fix a lot of these mistakes. And I do have, I basically consider all Boudoir Facebook ads that have more than 2 out of 10 mistakes to be breaking down Boudoir Facebook ads, because I already know they're going to be performing worse and worse over time, breaking down more and more over time. So, like if we got a car that's performing worse and worse over time, it's breaking down. Where do we bring the car? Well, we bring it to a car mechanic. Similarly, where do we bring a Boudoir Facebook ad that is breaking down more and more over time, performing worse and worse over time? We bring it to a Boudoir Facebook ad mechanic. So if your Boudoir Facebook ad has been going, has these mistakes I talked about today, and you do want to fix these mistakes, get way more efficiency on the ad spend, hopefully higher sales as well, with a much better method, without learn everything yourself, trying to do all this testing yourself, saving probably 90% of ad spend, you're trying to do this all yourself, and get way better, more qualified clients, then yeah, I do have a Boudoir Facebook ad mechanic offer today, kind of two different options. Option one is a pay per root cause problem solved that I solve, for one ad, or, on a per ad basis. And what I do is I take these 10 mistakes I talked about today, smush them down into 5 root cause problems, then provide, a quote for that. So yeah, I can do this right now, 30 seconds fast. So potential root cause problem 1 looks like an ad. Okay, we got root cause problem 1. Potential root cause problem 2, see more headline. We need 4 out of 4 specific attributes. We got 1 out of 4. So that's root cause problem 2. Potential root cause problem 3 is the ad copy. We need 3 out of 3 sections. We got 0 out of 3 sections. So yep, that's root cause problem 3. Below creative headline and button, if we have those, that's root cause problem 4. And objective, that's root cause problem 5, but we might be using the correct objective here. I've got no clue. So overall, that's 4.5 out of 5 root cause problems. And I charge $50 per root cause problem I solve on one ad. And yeah, you can take the fixes and put them on all the other ads you got or want to make. And you can choose one root cause problem fix or the maximum 4.5 out of 5. And that'd be 4.5 times $50, so $225 to fix everything for this one ad. And let's see, so that's option 1, $225. Option 2 is a much higher value option where I'll fix all the mistakes on all your Boudoir Facebook ads that you want and create as many Boudoir, relevant Facebook ads for the women in our city as you want, all for $100 a month. Flat fee, month to month, no contracts, cancel anytime. And yeah, you can basically collab with me as much or as little as you want. Both these options are done for you, so I'll be doing all the work, so you can save all that time. And yeah, you got my phone number, you got my email, and whatever social platform we're on right now. You can also DM me on here. So yeah, once you decide which option you want, hit me up, and then when you do, I'll ask you what you got for me, and then we'll go from there. All right, that's everything. Adios.